I started the tour with a broken collarbone. Yeah, being a dumbass on a motorcycle. Phil kept fucking with me, man.
Phil fucks with everybody though.
Yeah, it's like on rehearsal day before the first show, and I walk into the arena, and I'm in the sling, and Phil sees me, and he used to call me Simmons because when I first met him, he told me that he liked the Gene Simmons moves that I make on stage.
So what do you stand there and like?
Yeah, because when he first saw me, I still had long hair, so I was doing that kind of shit. So he's like, Simmons, what happened? And so I told him what happened. He's like, well, I'm sorry you're hurt, but I'm glad you're on the tour. And I'm like, fuck!
He hit you in the
yeah, he got me on the fucking shoulder, like, you
jackass.
dick.
Everybody, welcome back. We are joined today by Tony Campos, legendary bass player for the band Static X. How you doing, buddy?
It depends who you ask.
We could ask a lot of people.
Nice
That's why we had you in the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to hang again.
Yeah, man, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we were hanging out, we were looking at mermaids or something like that, right?
It's in Sacramento, right?
Yeah, at that mermaid bar.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
I took Adam there once too. So you were there the night. I don't know if they were even swimming.
No, I don't think so.
All right, for everybody in TV land or whatever, there's a bar in Sacramento. Above the bar, they have people that dress up as mermaids and they swim.
I thought they were real.
What do you mean they're people?
Yeah,
Fucking douche.
you're fucking talking about.
Either way, it's fun. So you and Mark Rizzo are hanging.
A
Yeah.
lot of mushrooms I took that night.
Oh, well. Is that every night?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, things happened.
Yeah. So, Static X, Soulfly, and what other bands have you ever been in? Name them off. Come on.
Who was your first band ever?
First band.
You had that high school band.
Yeah, I was in high school. It was called Mad Infantry. We were a three-piece, trying to play hardcore punk, thrash kind of deal, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
We should get them back together.
Yeah.
We'll call it the pandemic reunion.
Like I still keep in touch with the drummer Hugo. I have no idea what happened to the guitar player Al. Al, if you're out there, hit me up. Yeah, it was pretty awful high school kid music,
That's all good, man. It's all good. So give us a story, man. I mean, obviously I know the background, that maybe the people out there listening. Tell us a story. How'd you get into all this? What do you mean? You've been touring your whole life, I'm assuming, right? Or most of your adult life, or no?
Well, I mean, if you consider your 20s being an adult, which I don't think I was, but
No.
yeah, yeah. I think I was 28 when the band got signed, and I'm like 47 or 48. I don't even remember.
So you've been doing it for about 20 years.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
When Static X sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. 21 now. But yeah, how I got into doing music for a living?
It's a tough question.
By chance, really, because this was the last thing I thought I'd do for a living.
Yeah. What did you want to do?
Well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a paleontologist because I was really into dinosaurs. But then as I grew up, I got into computers and engineering, and I went to college to get my degree in computer science.
Where'd you go?
Cal Poly Pomona.
Oh,
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I went there for about 3 years, and basically I ran out of money. Every quarter they would raise my tuition, and they would cut my financial aid, so I got to the point where I couldn't afford it anymore.
Wait till now.
Yeah, I know, right? I hate to try to go to school now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I was going to school full time, and then trying to work full time, and it just became too much. So I ended up dropping out. Just worked for a year, and then I went to a trade school, to LA Trade Tech, to go learn drafting because I liked drafting.
Like CAD?
Yeah, well, not even CAD, just on the table, with the pencil and.
Oh, okay. So were you gonna be like a cartoonist, or were you gonna be like an architect?
like mechanical drawings.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Stuff like that,
okay.
And it eventually in the program it would have gotten to using CAD, but it was a 2-year program, and at the end of my first year, the school canceled my program, and they were like, "Okay, you can go to another school, or you can start all over with another program." And at that point, I was like, "Fuck! What the fuck am I gonna do with my life?"
Oh shit!
Start a band.
Yeah. Well, no. Playing bass and being in bands was something I did consistently through all that time, and I had already been jamming with Wayne and Ken. I'd met Ken while I was working at Ticketmaster, answering phones for ticket orders, and so I'd been jamming with them for a couple of years, and then shit started happening for the band, and I was like, well, let's see where this goes. And 21 years later, here I am still playing music for a living.
Fellas, your balls happy?
Support for Swenson and Bance is brought to you by Manscaped.
The best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
This stuff has some sick features.
The waterproof technology allows you to groom in the shower.
One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for closer and more precise trimming.
Let's get that bush and tush clean.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BUYIT at manscaped.com.
Make your testes their bestie.
Your balls and your partner will gladly thank you.
Oh yeah.
Agent Live 360, the world's first and only publicly offered CRM software designed specifically for sports agents.
AL360 is an incredible state-of-the-art software that does everything from keeping track of clients, professional, and college teams, to even company finances and client return on investment.
This system does it all. Visit agentlive360.com for full details.
Go check it out.
Funny story. You've actually kicked me off your bus once. For everybody in the world.
Yeah.
So you were on tour with El Nino, I think it was. Like this was like 20 some years ago.
Like
this was a long time ago.
It's 07, yeah.
And
how do you remember that?
Yeah.
Cause that was an awesome tour, man. I had a lot of fun on that tour.
Trevor got a little drunk, a little bit, and decided, let's go up and say hi to the band. You guys were just hanging out. I walked up on the bus, and you looked at me and you go, "Who the fuck are you? And why are you in my house?" And I said, I followed your tour manager up here, and they're like, "Nah, bro," and you kicked me out. He broed me. I had to go. It was a little uncomfortable. And then I went outside and I said, well, like, hey guys, I'm so and so, because in 2007 I was nobody, and I'm still nobody. But I'm like, hey, I remember you back in the day because we did some stuff with Pantera and like these other guys, and you were hanging out with like Dime and stuff, and like I believe it was you and all them. They were hanging out, and I said, oh, dude, I think I remember you from last time. You go, yeah, I don't know you. But it was fun. It's good to go.
Yeah,
back
dude, that was an awesome tour, man. I had a lot of fun on that tour.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Didn't you guys book El Nino in Europe?
In Europe, we had them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember something.
We did 2 tours with those guys, like U.S. and we did an Australian run with those guys.
Is that your first experience with Mark?
No, Rizzo wasn't in El Nino at the time.
At 07?
No. Mm-mm.
Wow, that's been so long since you left that band. Man.
Yeah.
I actually was in your dressing room at the Mean Fiddler in London.
Mean Fiddler.
Which was, you had the Astoria.
Yeah.
And then you had the Astoria 2. And the Astoria 2 is called, it changed down to the Mean Fiddler when the Mean Fiddler group
okay, little Astoria, yeah.
And this is before 07. This has got to be, I'm saying...
Yeah.
01?
And why were you in there?
01, 02. So the owner of the Mean Fiddler group was a good friend of mine. And I was a kid. I mean, I was probably 17, maybe 18 years old. And he was just, every single show that I wanted to go to at the Astoria, he would put me on the house list. And that night, I remember going into your dressing room and meeting Wayne. I don't even think I This might have been 99.
Long story short is we like sneaking into your places. So thank you for allowing us to do that. So
hey,
so we might have met.
Yeah. All right. Well, well, now that we've all been formally introduced, you guys don't have to sneak in.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, back to your college stuff. What's the shittiest job that you ever had? Give me some shit jobs.
I don't even remember the name of the company, but it was a chicken processing plant.
Like you just have to cut them off, cut the head off, or
no,
what would you do?
not even that. The chickens would come in pallets covered in ice.
Oh, so they're already dead. Okay.
Whole chickens, it already skinned and defeathered, whatever. And my job was to take these pallets, pick them up, shatter the ice, and then take the chickens out and put them on the conveyor belt.
That was your job the entire day?
That was my job.
How long did you work there?
3 months. and you know, the whole time you're in a refrigerated building, so it's fucking freezing in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and eventually I ended up catching a cold, and I was just like, fuck this, I'm out, man.
That's awesome. That's great. I just love shit jobs. I love shit jobs. I'm just trying to think about all the terrible jobs I've had, and I think the first job I ever had was probably the shittiest. I started the day I turned 14. I started working at Burger King, and I loved that job, and I hated it.
Each yourself.
Yeah, whatever. It's
shit. Yeah, never did the fast food. They wouldn't hire me for some reason. I don't know.
Really? Man, you're missing out.
It's been the long.
I gained like 60 pounds working at those places.
Yeah,
it was great. So what have you been up to? The fucked up quarantines and all this other stuff, and states shutting down and everything. What have you been doing?
You know, things aren't that different for me, other than not being able to tour, which sucks. But as far as being home, like nothing really changed too dramatically. I mean, I never leave the fucking house anyway.
You're a big gamer, right?
I do. Yeah, I do all my shopping online. You know, I'll hit a drive-through for food, or I'll hit up Grubhub. You know.
So it's like no hangouts. Like you don't ever go up to the Rainbow and hang with people or any of that shit.
Nah, like
that's too far for you.
Even before the pandemic, or whatever. You know, like I didn't. I mean, back in the mid 2000s, I'd be there every weekend. You know, hanging out at the Rainbow. Me and Dino would be hanging out, drinking, having fun, picking up on chicks, whatever. You know.
Good old Rainbow.
But but you know, now it's like. Too old for that shit, you know?
What's your game? Call of Duty?
No, actually, Destiny 2.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I've been into that. I kind of got out of it for a little bit a couple seasons ago. Started getting back into it, and now I'm like, all right, I'm like, grinding out levels and shit, you know?
Yeah? You beat the game
yet? Well, I beat the main campaign.
Okay, yeah.
It's just, trying to max out my power level.
Nice. So,
I started playing the new Valhalla, new Assassin's Creed.
Yeah?
Thing's amazing.
What's the new one that came out where it's like Nazi Germany? Is that the new Call of Duty?
That's the new Call of Duty.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. When I first downloaded it, they didn't do all like the updates. And the screen was like straight up glitchy. And I got it the day it came out. And then the next day, I did the next update. And it was like, oh, fucking perfect. It might have been just my Xbox, but it
I don't think Destiny's ever had a glitch. That thing's just been smooth ever since I played Destiny.
What do you play it on?
PS. So,
oh, okay.
So
yeah, I started playing it on PS4, and then when it came out on PC, I switched over.
So you didn't go out and get the new PS5?
With all man. There's like I haven't seen anything exclusive to either console that I'm like, oh, I gotta play this.
Yeah.
And like the only thing that was on that level for me was Halo, but that got delayed. So I'm like, well, what the fuck do I need a new Xbox for then? You know. Yeah.
Plus, if you're good at PC gaming, you pretty much can do everything.
Yeah, and like anything that I would want to play on either of those consoles, I can play on my PC.
Yeah.
With better graphics and a big ass widescreen monitor. So
yeah. I want to hear more about this paleontologist thing. Like I keep thinking about that. So, like, were you really into this, or was this like just a kid thing? Like, I'm really into dinosaurs, and that's cool. Like, or did you actually study this?
Well, no, I mean, I was a kid, I was in like third, fourth grade, whatever, But I looked into it enough to know that a person that studies dinosaurs is called paleontologist. So,
Well, you had me really locked in there. I was like, man, do you really study this? Because we could talk about that.
yeah,
shit.
no,
That'd be cool.
I mean, I was really into it, and like I knew all the names of all these obscure dinosaurs and shit, and yeah, I was really into it when I was a kid, and then I discovered heavy metal.
Yeah, and then you're like, fuck it, let's go rock, Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you when you're on tour? And I'm sorry I'm diving into this. It's cool to me. Like when you're on tour, do you like ever jump into like cool museums anywhere in the world and check stuff out like that or not?
No, I usually don't venture too far from the venue.
Gotcha.
Like I'll go grab food, and then hang out in the dressing room, wait for sound check, and then go back into the dressing room and play video games until an hour or so before showtime.
You're essentially Jonathan Davis in a different form. That's all he does. Play video games, just hang out, do what he does.
Do you ever do it on days off?
Sometimes it depends. Where you end up taking the day off in. Because
where's the bus going to park?
Yeah, more often than not, you're like in the middle of nowhere. In between whatever two cities you're going to. So most of the time it's.
They're not going to give you 2 days off in New York to go to the Met, so
yeah,
because you can't park.
Yeah, well,
exactly. Yeah. Well, they'll park you out in Secaucus. Yeah,
that Walmart.
Yeah,
I've done that Walmart parking lot
Yep.
so many times.
Yeah.
No, it's the only free place to park, and it's a 20-minute drive straight into the city. And after they started fucking with the trailer laws, then they're like, all right, cool, now we're cross-loading you from Secaucus, so you can't even take your fucking bus in there. And then you have bus companies that are like, oh, we'll do it. And then you get a giant ticket, and the bus company's like, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah.
All the time.
Make the promoters pay for it. Sorry,
no, the promoters would be like, fuck you. We told you.
Right? That comes out of your guarantee.
Yeah.
It sounds like you play the Webster a lot because
sometimes people do. So when you do the Webster, because they're union hands.
Yeah.
So you have to pay them more money to then unload your trailer. I don't know what the hell it was. And what we would do is we would actually get local friends in New York City, be like, yo, I'll give you $50. Everybody get into an Uber or something, go out to Secaucus, cross-load, and then you take the union guys because they're on like strict time laws.
Yep.
So
you gotta take their breaks at a certain hour. And
it's 8:29. We got 60 seconds left. Drop your shit, sitting there in the middle of the fucking snow.
Oh, I know. It's union.
Well, then, no, Webster Hall has changed now because before you had that stupid-ass fucking stair, like, going into it. And
they just got redesigned.
They redesigned the whole thing.
I think Live Nation or AEG, one of them bought it, so.
Oh, cool.
It was AEG, yeah. Because it used to be owned by a family business.
Yeah, and then
was it.
Heath was the buyer there, so. What's up, Heath? Friend of the show.
Kenny.
No, Heath Miller.
Oh.
Friend of the show. Good stories. Good stories. Sorry. Back to our guest.
Hey, no worries.
We can go about crazy load-ins all fucking day.
Yeah. Hey.
What are you missing about the road? Come on, I know you missed the road. What are you missing?
Absolutely, man. I just miss getting out and playing, man.
Yeah.
Jamming with my friends, yeah.
What's the spot on the planet that you're missing the most? Like that you just love going everywhere. I ask people this a lot. I don't know why.
That's a very valid question.
Yeah.
The stage.
You just miss going to the stage?
Yeah, I just miss playing, man.
Okay. I was gonna be like, do you miss like an awesome taco place in like Serbia or something like that? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say. A
lot of Mexicans in Serbia.
Yeah, right. No, for a while there, I was on a kick, like trying to find Mexican restaurants in obscure places. And,
just go to Trejo's, man. Just eat it up. You're in LA.
Well, no, like while I was out on tour.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So like I'd be in Europe somewhere, like found a burrito place in Poland and Czech Republic.
Have you eaten at Oaxaca in London? It's in Soho.
I'm not sure. I've eaten at a few places in London, a few Mexican places, and they're kind of on par with Chipotle.
Okay, so I'll give
Chiquitos.
you. So Oaxaca won Top Chef UK, and then she opened up a restaurant. It's absolutely incredible. Everybody that goes there, I always send them down there. But it's in Soho, so it's all the venues are in like Camden and stuff like that. So, but
yeah, the story is closed.
Huh?
The story is closed.
Yeah,
the story. Yeah,
that was the only one.
Yeah. That bummed me out, man, because I really liked that.
That was the best.
Yeah,
it was the best, honestly, because it had the ring.
I like Coco. Coco's
no, nothing compares to the story. The story, you could be standing anywhere on that floor and see the entire stage, no matter if you were tall, short. It was just the angle of it, and the sound in the room was good.
Yeah,
that was kind of the key thing. And like, you could be standing at the top of the back fucking bleachers, and still have a really good sound. And I saw so many bands there. Oh, Jesus! So I grew up in London. I spent 23 years of my life living there. And when I was a kid, like when I was 13, 14, you can't do this now, but we used to be able to jump on the trains, and we printed off our own out of order sign, stuck it on the toilet, and then would like 4 guys would be hiding in the fucking toilet, lock the door from the inside, no one fucks with you. Wow. So we get on the train. It was about 30 minutes, and then we jump over the turnstile, or you go right behind somebody that's got like one of the little tickets, straight through, and then I'd sit outside the Astoria. So I'd finish school at 3, and I'd get to the Astoria about 5. Normally about 5 o'clock, guys are finishing sound check, and then there's this really annoying kid that comes up and goes, "Yo, dude, I don't have any money. Can you put me on your guest list? Do you guys have any room left on your guest list? I just took an hour and 20-minute train to get in here."
All right.
And
or you sneak in.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I did this is a really fucking funny story.
We're not promoting sneaking in, by the way.
100% I'm promoting sneaking in.
Pay through the gate to support the band.
If the show's sold out, who gives a fuck?
Right. That's true.
I mean, like
the fire code does.
Yeah.
Well, no.
As long as the fire marshal.
This is a really, really funny story, because I remember being 17 years old, getting behind the Astoria, and there was like it was like a side alley. So the main door for the Astoria is on Charing Cross Road. And then right behind it, where the load-in is, there's like a little back alley.
Yeah.
And that's where where was the like guest entrance or wherever. And it was Goldfinger. And I brought a little fucking hand drill. You know, one of those things that you turn like that. It's like this little circle.
It's like an egg beater, but
well, it's really kind of funny fucking story. I was a kid.
You could only find those in London now, I guess.
Well, I don't know why. And I got through it and got through the lock.
Wow.
And the thing went, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this worked."
You're a little asshole.
The door. I was a fucking prick. The door opened, and I walk in there, and there's a security guard, and he's like, "Huh?" And I was like, "I don't know." It worked. And he was like, "Good on you, mate. Come on in." And he fucking let me in. And that's the first time I ever met Darren.
Oh.
First time I ever met Darren. Yeah. Darren was on our show. I long story short, me being 17, 8 years later, I ended up tour managing them.
Huh.
Completely random.
Wow.
And, yeah.
Small world.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know how we got on this.
I love it. Adam has the greatest stories just because it's like out of left field. Like, his Russian stories are always the best. So, what about you? Give us something. Come on, we're gonna
give us a story about playing in Russia.
Really fucked up stories, because we just love telling Russian stories for some weird reason.
I don't have any fucked up Russian stories. I had an awesome time both times I went up there. But I'll tell you a funny Rizzo story that happened in Russia.
Oh God. I guarantee he's gonna watch this show, so make it really
bad. Yeah. Oh, that's not too hard. It's Rizzo we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So you know how Rizzo likes to work out before he goes on stage.
Yeah, because he likes to get pumped up for the
ladies, or something like that. Yeah. So the tour manager prints out the day sheet for the day, and so he looks at it and he's like, okay, he figures out his schedule for the day. So he finds some obscure room. We're on tour with Korn, so we're opening for Korn out in Russia.
This is Soulfly.
Yeah, Soulfly.
Okay, yeah.
And so he finds some fucking obscure room in this arena we're playing or wherever, and he sets up and he starts working out. Meanwhile, the tour manager changes the schedule, and we're on now. basically. And nobody can fucking find Rizzo because he fucking disappeared somewhere.
So, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, Brian, Soulfly's tour manager, we're about to go on and nobody can find him. So he's fucking running around trying to find him. So we end up going on stage as a 3-piece for like the first 2 songs.
So who played lead guitar?
Nobody.
Did you just backing track him or
just Max?
I've never heard this story. This is awesome.
And like I think like the 3rd song in, Rizzo comes running out, fucking grabs his guitar.
Did he walk out and give you the jack face like,
what the fuck?
I just looked at him and fucking shook my head, dumbass.
That's epic, though. That's pretty epic.
Hey, music industry, need software?
Prism FM is the only independent, all-in-one solution that helps buyers, promoters, and venues manage everything they do.
From holds all the way through settlement, this software is all-encompassing.
Let's replace error-prone spreadsheets with a secure, mobile-friendly platform.
Teams can manage more with less, eliminating costly redundancies while improving team communication.
Organizations using Prism will be able to recover faster when shows finally come back to life.
Visit prism.fm for more information.
You and your business will not be disappointed. We guarantee it.
Making good music is hard, but marketing your music shouldn't be. It's simple.
Simple was born out of the idea of wanting to help musicians and industry professionals better navigate the modern music industry.
Whether you're an artist, band, manager, or record owner, Simple has a solution for you.
They offer Facebook and Instagram ads management services, Spotify growth, content marketing consultations, and so much more.
Visit their website at oddlysimple.xyz. That's SIMPL, no E, .xyz.
No E. Go check it out.
Thanks.
Have you ever been on tour where there's been a story where you thought you could die?
Yeah. 2008. I was out on tour with Ministry, my first tour with Ministry, and
I mean, pretty much there any time with Al, you're probably gonna be close to that somewhere.
If you try hanging with him drinking, yeah, it's a distinct possibility. But a week before this incident, I had been diagnosed with high blood pressure, so I was already kind of like freaking out about shit. And
so were you on blood thinners by then or not?
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
But like they kept upping my dose because it wasn't enough. So,
you were pissing every 3 minutes. Then is what you're saying?
No, I was just I don't. Well, probably because of the bottle of tequila I was drinking every night. So I'm on stage, and after the first song, like I feel this sharp jab in my chest, like someone's like fucking doing that to my chest, like, oh, what the fuck? And then every couple of minutes, I would feel it again and again, and I'm like, fuck, and already knowing that I have high blood pressure, I'm like, fuck, I think I'm having a heart attack
on stage.
So I go over to the tour manager. I'm like, dude, you see one of those EMTs running around out there? Have them waiting for me backstage after the show. I think I'm having a heart attack. Oh, and he's like, what? You should go right now. No, dude, I'm not fucking walking off the stage. I'm not going to be the guy that fucking puts a stop on the Ministry show.
Where was this?
In Dallas.
Okay, so you were in America at the time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I get through the show, and then I go backstage, and the EMT's waiting for me there. So he takes my blood pressure, and literally he does this. Whoa. You should be having a heart attack or a stroke right now. You might want to go to the emergency room. I'm like, fuck. I'm freaking out.
Your heart's going.
Yeah.
Did he at least give you an aspirin or something like that? No.
Oh, he's just like, so I ended up going to the emergency room, and I spent the night. They hooked me up to. Well, they gave me a shot of morphine. And then they gave me the aspirin.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm like, they had to give you aspirin.
Yeah.
They should have gave it to you right then and there. But yeah, go ahead.
And then, like, early in the morning, like 5, 6 in the morning, took me to the cardio ward, whatever, and hooked me up to these fucking sensors, and they had me run.
EKG, man.
They had me run on a fucking treadmill, and then they did the sonogram thing. And I'm like, fuck, okay. So around 7 a.m, doctor comes in, and he basically tells me, we don't know what was causing your chest pains, but we can tell you it wasn't your heart. Your heart is healthy.
Okay.
So, okay, great.
Did you have a blood clot?
So
yeah, no, they didn't tell me what it was, but it wasn't my heart. So I have no idea what it was.
Did they just pat you on the butt and say, good game, see you later? What, I mean,
basically. Basically.
I'd have been like,
and so I was like, all right. So I went to the airport, got on a plane to Houston, and rejoined the tour.
You're like, I'm 34 years old at that point. Like, I should not be having this.
Yeah, right? But, again, I probably shouldn't have been drinking a whole bottle of tequila before the end of the show.
True. That's just a side note. That's not the health problems. That's just tequila.
But, it was like, Al made it a point. Like, I remember he was telling the tour manager, make sure there's a bottle of tequila on top of Tony's amp before the show.
And you just say, hey,
I was like,
after the show, the tequila's still there. I didn't drink it, but it's still there.
Well, when I rejoined the tour in Houston, I told Al what happened, and he's like, you gotta stop drinking that tequila shit. You gotta start drinking wine. It's good for you. He was into wine.
It's got tannins. It'll be great for you. Yeah. Yeah.
One glass.
Yeah. One glass. This big.
And I had previously tried to keep up with Al drinking wine when we were doing rehearsals, and it was an ugly aftermath. Woke up, puke all over myself.
That was Ozfest, like 2007, 2008 for me.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
See, white wine gives me like acid reflux. Like if I drink a lot of white wine, I like get
too sugary or what?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I love wine. That's my go-to now.
Yeah, I didn't try to keep up with Al, but I started drinking wine because of that.
Yep.
Because of Al. I just drink this. I'm like, all right. And Al likes to drink just the reds, so he got me into the reds, and I still drink wine every once in a while, just like if I'm out, with my chick, whatever. But I still drink tequila.
Yeah,
that's the best.
That's good then. What's your favorite then? Because we had Struggle Jennings on a couple months ago, and I mean he was all about the tequila, man. Him and Adam went head to head on it.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, here you go. He's gonna beat you on it because he's already got it. What's your brand?
Yeah, like as far as the blancos, I like what is it? It's in the tall, skinny bottle. Coralejo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a blue bottle.
Oh, that's the reposado.
Okay.
Yeah, the blanco is just in the clear white bottle. As far as the reposados or añejos, the blue bottle is good too for the reposado.
There's only one.
Yeah.
I still haven't really decided because I haven't tried them all yet.
Clase Azul.
I'm not sure if I tried that one yet.
That's the best. Hands down.
Supposedly it's the end.
Anybody that goes around says 1942 is fucking shit at tasting tequila because it's not that good. Clase Azul or Santera.
Have you tried Jose Mangan's tequila? No. Real Azul? It's pretty good. You
know what's actually really good is the rapper E40.
Yeah, 40 water.
He's got one called E40, which is absolutely. I mean, my father-in-law bought a bottle of it, and I was like, actually, this is fucking good. But I think Clase Azul is the best because they do it in sake barrels. Sake. Some of it's in sake barrels. Some of it is in whiskey barrels.
I've heard of people doing that, throwing it in sake barrels. Yeah. I don't think I've tried one.
It's really good. I mean, the reposado is like $180 to $210 a bottle. I think $210 a bottle.
That's probably why I haven't tried it.
He's like me. He likes buying stuff down at the bus station just because it gets
the añejo though is like $600 a bottle. And the extra añejo is like $2,800 a bottle.
So essentially, what he's saying is, we're gonna get done here, and we're gonna go raid his liquor cabinet.
All right.
So We're ready to do. Yeah.
Gee, look at the time.
We're not on regular radio. We can drink all we want right now too. Yeah. When's the last time you talked to Jose?
It's been a while since probably.
Because he just moved back to
January, February,
New York.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I think he moved out to L.A.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Whatever.
So,
Yeah, hey,
Static X times. Best and the worst. I'm curious because I grew up listening to that shit, and
I had a lot of good times. Like it's hard to pick one.
Let's just do
like
this
the
best tour you guys have done, besides the El Nino one.
Yeah, I mean, that's a toss up too. I mean, it for me personally, I would say that tour we did with Pantera, Slayer, and Morbid Angel.
I was gonna say that's exactly one. That's the one that you guys were just. That was a crusher. I think I saw you guys in Minneapolis on that one. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I mean, for me, it was getting to see three of my favorite bands every night for a month and a half. You know? Even though I started the tour with a broken collarbone. I think
tequila or something else.
No, motorcycle.
Oh,
yeah, being a dumbass on a motorcycle.
That doesn't go together.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised I didn't break anything else. But
that's
yeah,
a cool tour.
I think the first 3 weeks of that tour, I wasn't playing bass because my broken collarbone. So my buddy Marty O'Brien was playing bass for me. But Phil kept fucking with me, man.
Phil fucks with everybody though.
Yeah, it's like I first saw him on rehearsal day before the first show, and I walk into the arena, and I'm in the sling, and Phil sees me, and he used to call me Simmons because when I first met him, he told me that he liked the Gene Simmons moves that I make on stage. So
what do you stand there and like?
Yeah, because when he first saw me, I still had long hair, so I was doing that kind of shit. So he's like, Simmons, what happened? And so I told him what happened. He's like, well, I'm sorry you're hurt, but I'm glad you're on the tour. I'm like, fuck! He got me on the fucking shoulder, like, you
jackass.
dick.
What a dick.
And then, every night, me and Phil would be on the side of the stage watching Morbid Angel.
Oh yeah.
And one night in particular, he's like, check out check out this shit Pete does on the drums right here. And so Pete does this thing where he inverts the beat doing a blast, and he's like, did you see that? He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
And how drunk at the time was Phil that he was doing that to you? Did he realize he was doing it?
Yeah, I mean, he said he was sorry. So. But I don't know if he was drunk or on painkillers or what at the time.
That's
but
back when his back was just horrible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I just recently saw Phil. What was that last Slayer tour that went out?
The final.
Yeah. Ministry was on that bill, and I got asked to do it, but I had already booked the Static tour in Europe, which was going to start a week after.
You mean Static with Slayer?
No.
Or you personally were going to
go
do it?
It was like
sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, let me
I know, I'm going too quick here.
Let me start over.
Yeah.
Ministry had gotten booked for that tour.
Okay.
And Al asked me to play bass for him on that tour. But Static X had already gotten a European tour booked.
The reunion
starting a week after the Slayer tour started, so I wasn't going to be able to do it. But what was it like? Charlotte. Yeah, I was in Charlotte. I went to the second show of the tour in Charlotte, and I got to actually hang out and watch the show. So I got to see the fucking show. Was my point. Because
I thought it was like you were supposed to play bass for ministry or what?
Well, no, it was funny because they ended up getting Paul Diamore, the original bass player for Tool, play bass, and so I walk into the dressing room, and Paul sees me. He's like, "Oh, what? That's it? I'm done already."
Sorry, man.
I'm like, "No, man. I'm just
tell me a cut?
I'm just here to watch."
They called in a pro. I apologize. You're only in Tool. It wasn't that good.
Right. Yeah.
They wanted a little bit more tech savvy bass player. So, that sucks that Slayer's finally out of the game.
Yeah. Right.
I guess they ended at the perfect time.
Yeah. You can't fault them for wanting to go out on top. Yeah.
Kiss, on the other hand, they're going to tour for the next 30
right?
years.
That's it.
No,
they
put
right.
You know how many? You know how many?
Been there, done that.
You know how many farewell tours Kiss has had?
It's the same thing with fucking Motley Crue.
No. Motley Crue is different because they had one farewell tour and then they did the contract thing, and we can talk about that till we're blue in the fucking face. Kiss has literally had a farewell tour since 1990. They've had a farewell tour, I think, every other year. Like, we're going to retire. We're never going to do it again. Then they come back. Retirement sucks tour. No, we're going to retire again. Not retirement sucks tour.
Somebody's spending too much money.
Yeah, I don't even think they even mentioned the retirement thing. Like, maybe if we don't talk about it, they won't remember we're supposed to retire.
Yeah. Well, they're playing Dubai for New Year's. I think they just played Dubai for New Year's Eve or whatever it was. So, yeah. From home studio to your office, your gear performs better in an acoustic-treated room. It's not your gear, it's the room.
Auralex Acoustics creates professionally tested products that's not some knockoff mattress foam. Auralex provides free knowledge and support so that you can properly enhance your acoustics.
Use code Swenson and Bance in all caps at Auralex.com for 10% off your entire order.
The #1 brand in acoustics, providing you trusted solutions for over 40 years.
It works for us, it's going to work for you.
Make sure to go to Auralex.com. That's AURALEX.com. Can we talk about Wayne?
Sure.
Yeah. You mind? I don't want to.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I wanted to ask if it's okay when you heard when he passed.
Yeah, I was at home. I think I was still working with Soulfly, and I'd been home for like a couple of weeks from the tour, and I got a call from his manager at the time, Eddie, and it was really early in the morning. Like, he called me like at 8 in the morning or something, like maybe 7, and I'd been talking with Eddie about business things, and so when I saw it was Eddie, I was like, why the fuck's he calling me at 8 in the fucking morning? I was like, so I was still half asleep, and he told me, Wayne's dead, and I was like, dude, stop fucking. Why are you calling me at fucking 8 in the morning, dude? It's like, no, I'm serious. And when it finally dawned on me that he wasn't fucking around, I was like stunned for like maybe like a good 30 seconds, and then and then it just and it just all like came back, and remembering all the drugs he was doing, and all the shit, and it's like, well, we all knew this was a possibility.
Yeah.
So, and like, it's funny because like, you think you're prepared for something, like knowing that this is a distinct possibility, but when it actually happens, it's still just like, fuck, unbelievable.
Yeah. Even
though that's pretty much where this story ends. You keep doing that shit, but it's still just a fucking. It's still a shock.
Shock.
That it's actually fucking happened. And it took me a couple of days to finally really process the fact that he wasn't around anymore. And
I mean, it's such a common story in the music.
Yeah,
world. It just sucks a bit. Like, is that the first time it's ever happened to you? Like,
you hear it, but it's actually feeling it yourself. I've had it.
Yeah, I mean, I've lost friends due to addiction, so it isn't the first time. But
it's somebody that you spend so much time.
This. I think Wayne was the closest friend that I've lost due to addiction, and when it finally hit me that that's it, because like, you know, before that, like, you know, we weren't getting along, but there was always a little bit of hope that maybe, you know, he'd
snap out, and,
you know, find help and get sober, and, you know, maybe we could eventually fix things. But when it finally hit me that as remote as that possibility was, now it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that's ever going to happen. And he's never coming back. And when that finally fucking hit me, like, I broke down and, you know, just fucking sat there on my fucking dining room table, fucking crying my eyes out. And I just kept repeating, fuck, he was my fucking friend. He was my fucking friend. And, it fucking sucked. And, you know, I cried like that and fucking, I can't even remember. But yeah, it sucked, man. It really did.
Well, it's good that you guys are out doing this, you know, the project and keeping things going. So I mean,
you know, like
remembering the good times now.
That's all you can do is just remember the good times and remember Wayne for the guy he was.
Yeah.
And particularly the good times we had. You know, establishing the band, you know, slugging it out in the clubs, and, you know, sweating in the van, you know, riding to the gig, and then having to go back to work after the gig, you know, because we both worked at this place, Video Monitoring Services, and
you've had some jobs, man.
Well, I mean,
chicken factory, and then the monitoring. What do you got? So what are you monitoring?
I mean, this job was cool. Like. I mean, it was tedious as fuck, because the company basically has clients that are like corporate businesses or celebrities that want to know what the media is saying about them.
Yeah. Okay.
So our job was to watch TV news, listen to radio news, and listen for mentions of companies or celebrities, and just type out quick synopsis of what the media was saying about them.
So essentially, you've been replaced, or that job has been replaced by software that just catches it now if it gets loaded up online.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool though. That's
so
actually a neat job.
Yeah, but it got tedious because you'd watch the 5 p.m. news broadcast, and then the 6 p.m. news broadcast, and then the 10 and 11, and then it's pretty much the same news throughout the fucking day. So you're like watching the same shit over and over again, you know? But yeah, that's what me and Wayne did before the band got signed. And so we had the night shift, which would usually start around 8 p.m. and end around 2.
So you would watch the playbacks, or you would watch like...
Yeah, we'd watch the playbacks and stuff.
So this was in like 2004 then, right?
No, this was in like 98,
yeah,
97.
So you're watching so you're watching like hard copy then at like 10 o'clock at night, and you're watching
we're
like...
using VHS tapes.
Yeah. What was the... so
Pretty
you're actually
strict.
watching the full tape.
We're watching VHS tapes of these news broadcasts.
Man, no, I mean, it sounds interesting, but it just sounds boring. Too.
And it's just tedious because you keep hearing the same fucking news stories all fucking day. So when we had gigs, we would go do sound check, whatever, or if we even got one, load in, and then go work for a few hours, go to the venue, do the gig, load out. We had our rehearsal space in downtown LA, so we'd pack up all our gear, take it to downtown, and then drive back to Video Monitoring Services. We actually worked at the CNN building.
Okay.
On Sunset.
Yeah.
So we'd have to drive back to Hollywood, basically.
Bitching of a drive.
And then
that story just doesn't even exist anymore. Sorry.
And then finish our work, and I'd get home by like 6 in the fucking morning, 7 in the morning, you know, on gig days.
Yeah.
Does that exist with kids anymore? Like, I hate saying, like, I'm an old fucker here, but
get off my lawn.
Yeah, but like, do kids do that? Do you think anymore? Where they're having that dedication of, I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm gonna go play a gig for 2 hours, then I gotta go right back to work.
You'd hope.
Does that happen though? I wonder.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you're not
what kind of
monitoring
job
VHS
that
tapes,
would.
I can tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're in a fucked up time with COVID, but like, geez,
I don't know.
Yeah.
drive is definitely key. But then all you ever hear about is like the corporate. Let's put together a band and then blow it up.
Right.
You know,
I
blow
mean,
with a bunch of 17, 18-year-old kids.
No, I think that the generation of kids that are just coming to this stuff now is very entitled. I think that that's like something that, you know, the work ethic drive has definitely.
The TikTok kids.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
when but the game's so different too. Like you can
Incredibly.
you can blow up just by making YouTube or TikTok
I know.
videos,
Yeah,
you
look
know,
at the
and
dog.
get a record deal that way.
It's-
You don't
I
even
know.
have to go play
Yeah.
live. You know.
I know.
Yeah, it's a totally different game.
You can now play live from your living room.
Yeah, exactly. And you just keep making videos. You can have a record deal and never set foot on stage.
I know.
You know, it's
I
totally
think of that
different.
dog face guy. He drinks one thing of juice and he turns into like the biggest thing in the world. Right? The dude that was skateboarding down to Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, but that guy's cool. The guy with the cranberry. the guy with the cranberry juice.
I know, but he made one video of just skateboarding down the road, and now he's huge.
That guy, yeah, but you got to realize is that guy's in his like 50s. You know what I mean? He's not like 22 doing this shit. Like if he was 22 doing this shit, that shit would not have flown. But it's the cool part is because he is past the generation that are doing it to get big off of, like, I can sit here and
that's what gave it the unique angle is his age.
yeah.
Because if it was just some random kid, I'm like, yeah, you've seen that a bunch of times.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Right?
Yeah.
I have an old question that I guarantee you've answered 1,000 times, but why the name Wisconsin Death Trip?
It was the title of a really cool book.
Yeah, that is a good book. Sorry. Title of a book.
Yeah, it was the title of a really cool book that basically, if I remember correctly, chronicled a period in time in Wisconsin,
My home state.
where
I know that's the reason for this question.
when people would take pictures with their recently deceased loved ones before they were buried.
Oh, in the 18 and 1900s. Yeah.
Yeah.
The death photos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically what it was.
It's a death photo book.
Yeah,
Really? No, I want to read it.
yeah, no, it's great.
Death
It's
photos
awesome.
used to be crazy. Do you know anything about death photos?
Yeah, you
So,
like literally you pose the dead body,
Like,
you know, like Weekend at Bernie's.
yeah, that's what it is. But the most fucked up one is when they take pictures of their kids that would die.
Yeah,
like
the
and they'd sit there
babies.
and they'd prop them up,
Yeah.
babies, and it looked like they were alive, but it was they were
Yeah.
dead, and they'd just take pictures and they'd frame it and put it on their walls. But that was normal. Like the death
Yeah,
photo was.
that was the thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's like the death cast though, like when in like the
People used
the
to
13,
mummify
14,
each other.
1500s where they'd take a cast right after they die,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'd cast their face and they'd keep that, and that was their death cast. So
Would you ever mummify something? Or
Why?
would taxidermy? If you had like an animal, would you have it? You know, if you have
that's a weird segue. Death photos to a taxidermy.
I mean, no, it's like
It follows.
I had this exact debate the other night. Was my fiance wants to taxidermy our dog,
See, that's
and I'm like, you're already thinking about this. So I mean, what the fuck? And she's like, no, I want to have him curled up in a little ball for the rest of my life. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. The last thing I want is this little white fucking ball. Where are you gonna put him? You gonna put him in the edge of the couch? Where are you gonna put him? You gonna put him on the dining room table?
yeah, I don't know.
Would you do that?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Do you have a dog?
I have two of them, and I've had pets that I've had to put down, but I don't think that ever crossed my mind. I've cremated them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
and I got 'em in little urns and shit, yeah.
That's what I said. I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, you have them in a little urn, you put them on the fire, with
Yeah,
a little
do a
mantle.
little paw print. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't have the thing like.
Is that what you
Yeah.
had? Did you have the ashes made into a paw print?
No.
Sorry. I was like, that's actually a cool idea. You take the
No,
ashes
they do a print of the paw on a little thing, a little
Oh, okay.
clay tablet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
You make them into like diamonds.
This is a fucked up.
Oh, yeah,
conversation,
I've heard-
but it's cool.
Yeah,
heard
you
you-
make it like a little diamond
yeah.
necklace out of the.
They actually they take the remains and pressure them into a diamond.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like a little
I've heard
paw ring.
they've done that with people too.
Yeah.
The society, you guys
an
are
option.
just out
Yeah,
of control.
I mean-
society.
Hey, you know,
I don't know about taxidermy your dog though. It's a cool dog, but I don't know. Like, I could see the stuffed thing staring at you.
Yeah, a stuffed, lifeless thing.
Yeah,
You know?
like you're made of wood, but you used to be real.
Yeah,
it's what I said to April. I was like, nah, the urn, cool.
Like I know it's hard enough to like when you have to take your pet in and see the life drain out of them, when they inject them, and then just permanently see them with the life drained out of them. I don't know if that I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that,
No.
Wow.
How do we get onto this?
I don't know, but
Wisconsin death trip.
Yeah,
but it was death photo,
yeah.
taxidermy.
Well, that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, I have 2 dogs and 3 cats. So
cool.
And
sounds like my house.
Yeah,
what kind of dogs?
Just small animals. I don't have a big yard. So like I love big dogs, but keeping a big dog in a little yard just
were the animals your idea,
right.
or was it your chick's idea?
No, well, I had cats before I met my chick, and I used to have a German Shepherd when I was a kid. I hadn't had a dog since then, and then she started letting me take care of her dogs, and it got to the point where I keep the dogs when I'm home, and when I'm out on tour, she keeps the dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the cats, they pretty much take care of themselves. Yeah. My dad goes over to the house a couple times a week to make sure they have food and water and cleans out the litter boxes, and that's it. They're on their own.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. But cats are very in themselves. Dogs are
very,
well,
that's why I had cats, because they can pretty much take care of themselves, and they used to be outdoor cats, so I just leave food and water out for them, and fend for yourself.
There you go. Knock yourself out. Go get some mice.
I'll see you when I get back from tour.
No, I mean that's the thing with cats. So, I mean, my fiance wants to get a cat. I'm like, it's just another animal. We had this. We still have this tiny little white fluffy thing, Buster, and excuse me, she's had him for I want to say 6-7 years. Easiest dog on the fucking planet. And then we found a dog in the middle of Utah.
I told him the story about it.
Yeah, we found Jenny in the middle of Utah, awesome. And she's a fucking nightmare. Chews everything.
About 4 weeks ago. Oh, she's perfect. She's great. And 4 weeks later, fucking nightmare.
I come downstairs. The whole entire living room's covered in toilet paper. Shoes are torn apart. I've got she's got a part of my Ray-Bans just hanging out of the side of her mouth. I'm like, that's only $200 sunglasses. She's like,
it's the best chew toy ever.
Yeah. Oh man. And now, she's getting an obedience training.
Yeah. Yeah. My newest cat. He's a bit of a handful and likes to run around and knock shit over. And
they're all that way. Yeah. Damn cats.
Yeah.
So, back to the music aspect of things. What have you been doing any new side hustle stuff, or are you doing any static stuff?
No, I just
anything.
Mainly just been working on music for Volume 2 of Project Regeneration. I've done a few jam things here and there. I did this thing with Rizzo. Actually, I did two jams with Rizzo.
Is it the live stream ones you're talking about?
No, just pre-recorded stuff.
Okay.
We did the last thing we did was the old Sepultura song, Manifest.
Okay.
Came out pretty cool. But mostly just working on music or playing video games.
Hey everybody, it's Trevor and Adam.
We want you to check out Dynamic Talent International, the boutique booking agency with a personal attention to their clients' needs.
From music talent, seminars, podcasts, and YouTube, DTI represents a wide range of incredible clients.
Visit dynamictalentint.com for a full roster list and contact information. Go check it out. Cat clothing for all the cat lovers in us.
Visit catclothing.net for their full line of cat-inspired clothes.
Hoodies, shirts, tanks, shorts, and even fitness gear are now fully in stock for the fall and winter season.
Again, visit catclothing.net today. Check it out. Thanks, everybody.
Meow, meow. How did you get in? I'm just, for people that don't know, right? When I was growing up, I was a big Soulfly fan. and I remember, it was the Bleed video.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely the Bleed video. Jesus, when was it? 98?
Yeah, that record came out in 98, I think.
Yeah. Because it was when Fred was kind of the same time too, wasn't it? Like Limp Bizkit were kind of coming up.
98.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Family Values tours right before Family Values 1998.
The very first Soulfly album, I thought, didn't come out till 2001 or 2000.
No, I think
it was
out
well
already.
before that.
Mm-hmm.
Well before that. I know that.
Maybe, yeah.
I know that because I remember seeing the promo videos for the Family Values tour, or it might have been Ozfest.
Yeah,
they were on Ozfest because that was the Primitive videos.
Yeah, they were on tour for their second record. That's when I met Max and Gloria.
Okay,
was on that second Ozfest.
Because that's
How
when
did
like
that all
Roy
come
was
about?
in there and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
Roy and Mikey and Marcelo. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Because I was a huge Sepultura fan.
Yeah,
like,
me
I
too.
grew up. So my first ever show, was Sepultura, supported by Slayer, and the opening band was System of a Down.
Nice.
And that was
terrible show.
95, 96. I mean, it's showing my age, but like, it was great. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm blinding myself.
Uh-uh.
But yeah, how did that like?
How did
Soulfly come about?
how did I
How
how did I get the gig basically?
Yeah.
Well, I met Max and Gloria in 2000 on that Ozfest, and then I think it was in 04, 05, we did co-headline Static X, Soulfly. So I'd already known them for a while, not like really well, but they knew who I was. So.
Yeah.
And I guess they seemed to like me.
How could
And
they
then
not?
in
You're so likable.
well, again, depends on who you ask. And then I think it was it 2000, end of 2009. I did my first tour with Prong, and Prong was main support for Soulfly.
Yeah.
And Bobby Burns was still playing bass.
Good old Bobby.
Yeah.
Primer 55
Yep,
days.
Primer 55, yeah. Did some stuff with them back in the day.
Yeah.
So while on that tour, Bobby, talking to Bobby, he had expressed to me his intention of leaving Soulfly after that tour. And so at the end of that tour, I came home and Tommy told me that he was going to be doing a lot of stuff with Danzig.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't going to do shit. So I was like, well, let me hit up Gloria. And I hear they're looking for a bass player. So sent her an email. And within a few months, I was driving to Phoenix to do one of only 3 rehearsals ever with those guys.
You only rehearsed 3 times, then you were in the band?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the first time was when I got the gig,
Mm-hmm.
and the other 2 times were pre-production for records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the song. Go.
Pretty much, man. Like when if Max wants to try something new, he'll just do it at sound check. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
And we kind of get through it, and it's like, okay, we do it tonight. All right. But the whole, Max is so like punk rock and loose about shit.
That's what makes the magic, man.
Yeah, but it kept you on your toes because you have your set list, but then he'd call songs out of the blue. Like one of the first tours I did, he called out a song and I hadn't learned it, and so I'm like, Max, I don't know this one. I didn't learn this one, and he's like, oh, it's okay, just follow me.
You're a guitar player.
Yeah, and half the time he's holding the mic and just doing this. So I'm like, trying to see what Rizzo's doing over there.
Who was drumming? Was that Conky then? or was that-
No. That first album cycle I did with them was Dave Kincaid.
Okay.
Okay.
He used to be in this black metal band called Borknagar or something. I don't know.
Okay.
He's a really good drummer for that album, like that Enslaved record, which is one of my favorite records I've ever played on. It's really thrashy. There's some blast beats in there. It's really cool. He was a great drummer for that record, but not the right drummer for Soulfly. Because like everything else is like, particularly the earlier stuff, it's like really swing, groove oriented, and he just
it's Brazilian. He definitely writes it in the southern aspect of things.
Yeah,
so.
and unfortunately, Dave just isn't that kind of drummer. So like, the stuff like Eye for an Eye, or what is it? No Hope, No Fear. Like really groovy, and the kid would be trying to do double bass flutters in there, and it just wasn't working. Man,
he's a death metal drummer.
Yeah, and that's the thing about drummers, man. They're like, most of them are either good at the blast and the thrash and like the really rigid stuff, or they can swing their fucking asses off, and groove. It's a rare drummer that can do both, and I've been fortunate enough to play with some really good drummers that can do both. Yeah.
Well, it's like Mark, not to keep tooting on Mark Rizzo's horn. We all toot on Mark.
Well, he does it enough on his own.
No shit. But the fact that you got Mark that can play so speed, and then he can play flamenco.
Oh yeah.
And then he can play all this stuff, and it's like, what? It's tough to find that kind of package. You just got to deal with his mouth, Mark's a good friend of mine. I can say that.
And like, the thing about Mark, is like, and I've said this to his face. It's like, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but the two things he knows how to do, he does them really fucking awesome.
What's the other one besides guitar?
Beat the shit out of people.
So we're gonna tell a funny story about Mark Rizzo here. And God damn it, I love you, Mark. I do. I really do, man.
Now you're gonna get the shit kicked out.
You haven't met.
He'll show you how good he is. You
haven't met Mark. He's this tiny little, like, definitely hardcore Italian dude. So, and he's hardcore New York. So. He's New Jersey.
Yeah.
So,
and that's one thing I give him
strike too.
I give him shit for that too, because he tells people he's from New York. Like, you're not from New York. You're fucking New Jersey. He's like, well, I tell people I'm from New York because nobody knows where New Jersey is.
Yeah. Like, you're from Trenton. Shut up, dude.
Right.
He's like,
that's even worse.
I'm not from Trenton. Either way. So, Mark has been my longest client. I think Mark has been a client of mine for like 15 years. Just because he was the first person ever to call me up and say, you should book me. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll check it out. Anyway, he calls me, this is years ago, just absolutely livid about whatever. And Mark, you got to mention this super thick New Jersey Shore accent. And he's just fucking livid. And he's like, man, this whole fucking place out here, it's just a fucking circus. Circus, fucking circus. I'm just like, see, he's laughing because he knows exactly what he'd be looking like. Yeah. Fucking circus. Oh, sorry, man. Mark, he gets so heated.
He's a funny dude.
So you gotta say, you gotta tell a story. What's the best time you've seen him kick the shit out of somebody?
I've never seen him fight. We went into a bar once in
I've seen him fight a few times.
Is it one of those like fisticuffs, or is it the broken bottle? Let's go.
No. All fisticuffs.
He likes to punch.
Yeah.
Like
he trains MMA at home.
Okay.
So, yeah, he likes to fight. I mean, this wasn't really much of a fight. We were out on tour in Europe, and we're all on the bus driving to the next town, and people are drinking, having fun, and the sound guy got a little too sauced up, and he was mouthing off at Richie, Max's son, who's out doing merch with us.
Yeah.
I think, and he was mouthing off at Richie, and so like, say like here's the hallway for the bus, and you got the two tables on each side.
The bottom deck.
Yeah, the bottom deck, and I forget. Say you're the sound guy, and I'm Richie. And then Mark's sitting over here on the other side of the aisle, and I don't know where he decides he leaps out of his seat and leaps over the aisle and punches this guy in the face.
What?
And he sits down and he starts laughing his ass off.
What set him off?
Because he was mouthing off at Richie.
Yeah. Oh, but do you know what he like? I don't
remember
what he said.
I don't
set him off.
I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was just talking shit about Richie.
And it's out of the blue, just pops him. In the jaw.
And then he sits down and he starts laughing his ass off, and he turns to me and he says, "I love the fight."
Oh, needless to say, that sound guy shut the fuck up pretty quick.
So then the sound guy runs up to the upstairs lounge where Max and Gloria are, and we could hear him. He's like, "Glow, Rizzo hit me."
Like, God.
And Gloria's like, "Well, you probably deserved it."
Yeah.
So he went to his bunk to call it a night, and a few hours later, this was when Dave Kincaid was still in the band, and we suspect it was him that really did this, but Rizzo went to his bunk and found a note that said, "Fuck you, Rizzo." So Rizzo,
like just a random fuck you note? Okay.
So Rizzo assumed it was the sound guy. So he goes to where he thinks the sound guy's bunk is, and he starts kicking it. He had the wrong bunk. He was kicking one of the techs. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck?"
What the fuck? I have to call Mark and get this. This is hilarious.
Yeah. One of the many hilarious nights watching that dude go fucking bonkers.
I'm gonna have to give him a shout out in the bylines on this one for sure. The Mark Rizzo show. Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, man. It's been an absolute honor to have you on the show. This has been fun. You know, I'm glad we finally got around to it.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Jason. Man. I think Leckberg hooked us up. So we love with some Jason Leckberg, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Before we go, I mean, you want to plug anything? Telling people what's going on in your life? Music, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you know, with this whole COVID thing, it's like really hard to say what's gonna fucking happen. You know.
We'll be back in the fall.
Yeah, hopefully, you know.
I'd ask if you're going to take the vaccine, but unfortunately, since you're in a band, you're going to have to.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if that's what it takes for me to get back out on the road, then hey, I'll take it.
Me too.
I'll watch you as a zombie. I'll be sad.
Cool. I'll get the government payout afterwards.
Yeah,
if that's the zombies.
You know, they could throw a microchip in there and track me like they're not tracking me on my fucking phone anyway.
Exactly.
And your Alexa and your video game.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, yeah, I mean. Once that gets figured out, then you know maybe we can start planning shit. And but in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep working, try and finish up this record, and hopefully, once COVID gets figured out, we'll be in a position to say, hey, the record's done, and we'll release it on this date, hopefully. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Cool, man.
Keep an eye out for it.
It's been awesome. Be
Thanks,
safe.
man.
Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll talk to you guys later.